Okay, so today we're finally going to be updating the PvP tier list for September 2025. And today we have Haim because he woke up early and I'm taking care of him. So let's get into it quickly here. And then let me show you guys some comps that are going to be used with the meta cookies as well. Alright, so let's get into it quickly. First, with the D tier, I have kind of put some extra meaning behind these tiers. And this tier is going to be called Runaway, alright, or Run. It's the Tails and Sonic with our Lilac as well as Fig and Tiger Lily. And then we have the C tier, which is definitely Shouldn't. It's gonna be from Red Velvet, Coco, Moon Rabbit, all the way down to our Candy Diver. And then we have our Shouldn't, and that's gonna be from our Clotted Cream down to Oyster. And then from Pomegranate all the way down to our Lime Cookie as of right now. And then we do have our A tier, which is probably Shouldn't. And that is going to be from our non-awakened Hollyberry to non-awakened Dark Cacao, Pattaya Dragon, Sherbet, Tea Knight, all the way down to our Black Sapphire, Mozzarella, Pudding a la Mode, our Choco Drizzle, all the way down to Lemon. And then we also do have Cream Soda with our Orange, Herb, as well as BTS. Alright, some of these cookies are, you know, if you really have to, like, they're not terrible, but in most cases compared to the cookies above, they're not gonna be that great. All right, and then we also do have now the S tier, the not too bad cookies. All right, if you really need to use them, and that's gonna be from our regular pure vanilla, and then regular white lily with regular golden cheese, and then we have our frost cream, black pearl, as well as sea fairy with their crystal jams, and then we have camellia, capsaicin, and then some of the super epics, and then we have Queen of Man all the way down to blueberry pie with pastry all the way down to our vampire as well. So vampire did kind of move up just because it seems like vampire is still like kind of usable, at least in the lower ranks. So if you guys are like really wanting to, there are some comps that are using like vampire with the insignia with the golden cheese awaken and stuff like that. So if you really want to use it in the lower ranks, then you kind of can. Okay, so now we're going on to the main two tiers, which is going to be the SS tier as well as the meta tier. And the SS tier is going to be categorized as pretty good. Alright, so these cookies are pretty darn good for you guys to use if you guys need to use them, especially as a replacement for some of the cookies above. However, if you really want to get to the higher rank, like the higher ranks where Elite 1 all the way up to Grandmasters, especially in the Grandmaster, you're really gonna need the cookies in the meta tier. Alright, so right now we have our Stormbringer as well as Moonlight, Mystic Flower as well as Cream Ferret and Rockstar, who are pretty much down into the SS tier now. However, they're still used here and there. Actually, Moonlight is the one that I have to say that is kind of being used a little bit more right now, being tested out. Can't really say she is super good from testing and from talking to people who have tested, but as of right now, that is going to be a possible option with a full solid almond build and cooldown focus, as well as Mystic Flower and Cream Fair has definitely kind of fallen a lot as well, especially with the addition of another healer, which is going to be Doael. Stormbringer is kind of like the same, not really used too much now because Doael is there to kind of really out heal a lot of the damage. I gotta say there still are comps here and there, but has definitely fallen off a lot. And then Rockstar 2 is going to be more of a comp that has been removed or replaced by Doael, just because Rockstar used to be able to burst down a lot of the enemies, but nowadays Doael is just able to out heal and then is able to, you know, just kind of leave you out without a healer if you guys are using Rockstar. Alright, and then we have our Burning Spice, Golden Cheese Awaken, we have our Elder Fairy, Financier, Snapdragon, our Icicle Yeti, Crimson, Green Tea Mousse, Burnt Cheese, Fettuccine, as well as Rebel. So these are the only other like kind of decent replacement I would say that you guys can use. Crimson Coral, being that she has to be by herself in the front line, is the only downside, but I would say if you really need to, these are some decent replacement that we do have. Alright, and then now on to the meta tier, and that is gonna be the quote-unquote yes tier. Alright, and that's gonna be from Hollyberry Awaken. We do have Dark Cacao, but I would say kind of in the backside. And then we also do have, of course, Fire Spirit. We still have Eternal Sugar. We still have our Shadow Milk, obviously. We have Marshmallow Bunny, Pure Vanilla Awaken. We have now Wildberry as well as Wind Archer, and then a bit of Dark Cacao here as well. Dark Cacao is a little bit better than Moonlight, definitely. I'm going to be counting a lot of the Marshmallow Bunny comps right now. Possibly other comps as well. Wind Archer does counter a lot of different like Pure Vanilla comps. Sometimes can be used against other comps here as well. Not just Pure Vanilla. Wildberry, great against some of those necklace comps as well. But because of the fact that these cookies can be used in a bit of a different situations, I would say they are definitely going to be considered meta right now, so that you guys are able to climb with them. I have shared a video yesterday with Wildberry as well as Wind Archer, and then of course the usual guys are still up there. Hollyberry, the best tank, as well as 3 best DPSs still, and then we do have Pure Vanilla as well as Marshmallow Bunny as the great support slash healer. But this is going to be the time where we do put in Do-Il, because Do-Il is absolutely meta right now, going to be a crucial part of your team, especially in a lot of different double healer comps. Even a single healer comp, Do-Il is just able to do so much for you. Keep cookies alive, give that extra healing based off of their HP. You know, all this stuff is just kind of going crazy with Do-Il right now. We'll have to see how it goes with Silent Salt, but we do have Do-Il up into the meta tier. Alright, and then of course we do have some other cookies as well. We have Grapefruit, which I am going to be putting around S tier. Grapefruit is just decent, does have that taunt, does have those debuffs as well as those you know, HP shield, which is really big, but just in the regular arena, just not that great, just because of the essence of how epics are just not really suited for the regular arena most of the time as of right now. And then we also do have Menthol and Seltzer. In my opinion, Menthol and Seltzer are gonna be in around that A tier for me. They're very focused on the PvE section. They're very focused on that boss battle especially. So I would say as of right now, because they are also really squishy, they just kind of explode inside of the arena compared to other cookies as well. So really going to just be in that A tier for me for these particular cookies. Alright, so that's pretty much the tier list that we have gotten for September 2025. So let me quickly get into the game, and then we will share some of the comps that we have with these particular cookies up on the top, so that you guys are able to use them if you guys would like to do so. Alright guys, so we're inside of the arena. I'm going to show you guys the 5 comps very quickly of what is being used. So first of all, it's going to be the Wildberry comp with Wildberry, Hollyberry, Do-Il, as well as Eternal Sugar and Shadow Milk, using the jewelry box, watch, as well as the flamingo tube. Right now the tube is going to Hollyberry as well as Wildberry, increasing their max HP, especially Wildberry, in order to do that insane amount of damage as well. And then quickly going over the toppings, we have full HP, a mixture of Swift Chocolate as well as Raspberry, or just full Swift Chocolate. We have our peanut as well as full Swift Chocolate. Specific guides you guys are able to find inside of my channel or a video, so please check out those videos. And then we also do have the Wind Archer comp, which is going to be with the monocle as well as watch and jewelry box with Wind Archer instead of that Wildberry. And then we have a little bit of a different build for Hollyberry this time with Swift Chocolate and peanut. We do have the mixture of Swift Chocolate and Raspberry, peanut. We also do have the Swift Chocolate, and then a mixture of almond and sweet candy. Alright, so Wind Archer comp is very good. And in case you guys want to use the Moonlight one, it's replacing the Wind Archer with Moonlight if you guys want to try and use that. Next one is going to be our Fire Spirit comp. This one's the one I share also with you guys, with the scroll as well. And that's going to be with full peanut, a Swift Chocolate Raspberry mix. We have the full peanut, Swift Chocolate, as well as a Raspberry as well for Fire Spirit. So that's also a very strong comp right now. We also do have the Pure Vanilla comp, obviously, with the Do-Il Dual Healer. We have the peanut as well as a Raspberry Swift Chocolate mix. We have peanut, we have Swift Chocolate as well as the peanut. And then of course, if you guys would like to, then replacing the Pure Vanilla with the Marshmallow Bunny is also a very strong comp right now. And Marshmallow Bunny right now is mainly using that mixture build, so that you are able to have the you know, a good amount of amplified buff, at least at 25%. 17% is minimum if you guys have all of the legendary costume that gives the amplified buff. If not, then adding that extra in for the 25% is going to be very, very important. And lastly, it's going to be that darker cow comp. You guys can use this if you guys would like to. I personally don't recommend it for those of you guys who are like, you know, low on resources and things like that. Unless you have Dark Account already built and you don't need to waste anything off for the biscuit, then you guys can do so. But it is going to be with the monocle and the jewelry box, and it's going to be full peanut. We have the swift chocolate, and I have the mixture build for eternal sugar again to get the highest attack, and then we have the peanut as well as the swift chocolate. I'll make a specific video on this if you guys would like me to do so, but those are going to be some of the comps. Again, if you guys would like to use Rockstar or Mystic Flower and stuff like that, then you guys are able to replace like the healers for them. Technically, I wouldn't recommend you to do too many of that if you guys are trying to climb, especially to Grandmasters. But that is pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you guys found the video helpful. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. And yeah, I will catch you guys all in the next video. Thanks for watching.